Chapter 81. You are listening at novelfold.audio. After the simulation, Changfeng closed his eyes and sat cross-legged to digest the gains of this simulation. This pink simulation not only improved his mental power a lot, but also brought him one step closer to the mental power strength of the fusion stage, and he also cultivated to the peak of the transformation stage, from the chi refining stage to the transformation stage. This pink simulation world is very similar to the immortal cultivation in the real world, although the cultivation level cannot be brought to the real world. The experience of cultivating to the transformation stage in the simulation world still has a great promoting effect on the immortal cultivation in the real world. The most important thing is that Changfeng found a pink world that can be simulated for a long time. In this immortal cultivation simulation world, the laws of heaven and earth are very similar to the real world. Whether it is practicing boxing or improving mental strength, there is no difference from being in the Xianwu continent. After half an hour, Changfeng digested the gains of this simulation, and his mental strength was greatly improved. There are still many low and medium-level skills, magical powers and secrets collected in the simulation world in his sea of consciousness. Although these skills and secrets are of little use now, when Changfeng simulates this pink world more times and accumulates enough skills and secrets, they will be transformed into his foundation and can improve his understanding and perception of the immortal way. Lay a solid foundation for the future integration of immortality and martial arts and promotion to the realm of great power. After digesting the harvest, Changfeng directly consumed 1 million simulation points to lock this pink simulation world of immortal cultivation without saying a word. Now, he has found a way to increase the strength of his mental power to the fusion stage. Even if there are no other great opportunities in this simulation world, Changfeng is confident that he can break through the strength of his mental power to the fusion stage after several simulation worlds. Before breaking through the realm of refining emptiness in this pink simulation, Changfeng hid all his wealth in a secret place. When he enters this simulation world again, he can directly take it back, saving a lot of time for original accumulation. At least he doesn't need to spend a lot of energy to obtain the nourishing God tree. Moreover, according to the information Changfeng obtained in this simulated world, he can basically determine that this pink simulated world of immortal cultivation is the world of the immortal cultivation novel he read in his previous life. Recalling it, there are still many good treasures in this world, but since it is impossible to bring the real objects out of the simulated world, after thinking about it, the most useful thing for him is the secret method of spiritual power cultivation called Refining Spirit Ju. Refining Spirit Ju has 7 levels, which is the practice method passed down from the fairy world connected to this simulated world. Even in the fairy world, it is a famous forbidden technique. In the secondary simulated world, only the first 3 levels are passed down. The first level of the spiritual power strength of the refining realm can be cultivated. After successful cultivation, the spiritual power strength can be doubled. The second level of the spiritual power strength of the fusion stage can be cultivated, which can increase the spiritual power strength by 4 times. The third level of the spiritual power strength of the Mahayana stage can be cultivated, which can increase the spiritual power strength by 8 times. The effect is very simple and crude. Even in the list of exchange for Huangting's sex protective formation, Changfeng had never seen such a domineering spiritual power secret method. However, this spiritual power secret method also has disadvantages. It has very high requirements for the physical strength of the practitioner. If the physical body does not meet the standard, it is very likely to explode and die. Moreover, the principle of this secret method is to superimpose the spiritual power of several lives after reincarnation to the present life. The result is that if this life dies, it will be impossible to step into the path of cultivation for several lives after reincarnation and become immortal. Changfeng does not care about these disadvantages. He is still very confident in the strength of his physical body. As for what happens after reincarnation, let alone. He only cultivates in this life, does not ask about the next life, and becomes the master of that life. Changfeng set his big goal on soul refining art and decided to plan this secret method while improving his spiritual power and boxing in the simulated world. The most urgent task now is to improve the talent level and spiritual power strength first. Continue. Enter the locked pink simulation world. Ding, consume 100,000 simulation points, exchange for pink simulation times x1. Simulation begins. Target is the specified pink simulation world. Simulation is about to begin. World introduction, omitted. Start talent selection. Please select 6 from the reserved talents and the following talents and bring them into the simulation world. Battle Mage, Blue. You have superb melee combat talents and are good at using staffs to hit enemies. College Entrance Examination Champion, Green. If you take the college entrance examination, you will definitely win the first place. Black Dragon is also a dragon. Purple. You have the blood of a black dragon, and your physical strength is improved, but your skin will become darker. Specialization in Power, Purple. Your power is improved faster and more powerful. Looking at the refreshed talents, Changfeng shook his head. This time, his luck was not good. He did not even have a single pink talent. Without hesitation, Changfeng selected the 6 talents in the talent slot and entered the simulation world of cultivation. Simulation begins. 0 years old, you were born in the human territory of Fengyuan continent in the spiritual world. You are a girl. Your parents are both mortals. Your family lives in the heartland of the human race. There is no danger on weekdays. 10 years old, you show extraordinary aptitude for cultivation and are accepted as a disciple by a passing human Yuanying stage cultivator. 12 years old, start practicing the human cultivation method taught by the master, and at the same time practice the physical method, Vajra Sutra. Vajra Sutra is a very common physical training method for both humans and demons. It uses spiritual energy to wash and train the body and strengthen the physique. When it is fully cultivated, the body can fight against the Yuanying cultivator. 16 years old, your body has the bonus of Vajra Sutra and talent, which is extremely strong. The strength of your mental power has also returned to the peak of the land immortal. But you didn't show it. 20 years old, you successfully built your foundation. 48 years old, you became a Jindan realm cultivator. In the same year, you bid farewell to your master and went out to travel. 51 years old, you came to a very secret place and got the legacy left before the end of the last simulation. Fortunately, the place where you hid the legacy is not far from the human territory, otherwise it would take some effort. With the blessing of resources, your cultivation speed has accelerated. The piece of superior nourishing wood continues to nourish your mental power. From the special timing tool left in the secret place, you learn that it has only been 100 years since the last simulated death. As far as you know, the Guanhan realm where the Refining Spirit Sutra is inherited is located in the Thunder Continent. While you were practicing, you were also improving your spiritual power, and you were also looking for a way to go to the Thunder Continent. However, you soon gave up the idea of going to the Thunder Continent. The Thunder Continent is billions of kilometers away from the Wind Continent. It would be difficult to reach it in your lifetime just by relying on your own strength. You also need to cross the endless ocean on the way. Even a great master in the Mahayana stage can't say that he can get through it safely. You learn that going to other continents is generally through a super long-distance teleportation array. However, this array is in the hands of some powerful races. Every teleportation quota is very precious, and cultivators below the fusion stage are not qualified to ride it. Chapter 82. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You decide not to go to Thunder Continent for the time being, and see if you can be lucky enough to be born directly in Thunder Continent in the simulation later. 100 years old, you enter the nascent soul stage, and the Vajra Sutra is also cultivated to perfection. You understand that the human race and the demon race are both weak races, and there is only one Mahayana strongman in each race. In order to face various crises, the human and demon races have long formed an alliance. The territories of the two races have long been integrated and covered by a huge ancient magic circle. The territories of the human and demon races are located at the intersection of the interface between the spirit world and the demon world. Every tens of thousands of years, the power of the interface weakens, and the demon monks of the demon world will take the opportunity to enter the spirit world and plunder various resources at the intersection of the interface. This invasion is called a demon disaster. The demon world and the spirit world are both powerful realms in this simulated world. Every demon disaster will cause a lot of damage to the small races at the intersection of the interface. Even a strong person in the fusion stage has no confidence to escape from the demonic disaster. At this time, it is still early for the next demonic disaster, you don't need to worry about it. 203 years old, you advance to the spiritualization stage, and your mental strength continues to increase. 240 years old, you are ready to travel and look for opportunities. 290 years old, you found an ancient altar in a ruin, and after using spiritual power to activate it, it turned out to be a teleportation array. Feeling the teleportation array about to collapse, you stepped into it decisively. This is a cross-continental ultra-long-distance teleportation array, and you were teleported to the Blood Sky continent. The Blood Sky continent is quite mysterious. Even in the novels of the previous life, it was just mentioned briefly without too much description. You only know that the Blood Sky continent is different from the other two continents. It is dominated by sect forces, and most cultivators practice the Blood Dao technique. You came to the Blood Sky continent, disguised yourself and traveled around. 300 years old, your cultivation reached the peak of the spiritualization stage. Out of curiosity, you studied the Blood Dao technique and found it very magical. 400 years old, you easily survived the first minor heavenly tribulation. 420 years old, you have studied the Blood Dao technique, and when fighting, you are no different from the local cultivators of the Blood Sky continent. 430 years old, you joined the Blood Bone sect and became an external guest. The Blood Bone sect is the top sect in the Blood Sky continent, with more than 10 Mahayana masters. 600 years old, your mental strength is increasing more and more slowly, and the God Tree has almost no effect. Your mental strength is only a hair's breadth away from the Great Power Realm, but you have reached a bottleneck. 610 years old, you decide to go out for training and look for an opportunity to break through your mental strength on the Blood Sky continent. 700 years old, you gained nothing, and in the same year you easily survived the second minor heavenly tribulation. 820 years old, you were chased by a late-stage refining expert while searching for treasure. You fled in a panic, narrowly escaped death many times, and finally escaped. 1000 years old, you easily survived the third minor heavenly tribulation. 1100 years old, it has been almost 500 years since you left the Blood Bone sect to look for opportunities, but your mental strength is still stuck there, unable to make any progress. 1150 years old, when you were comprehending your mental power, you accidentally discovered a secret realm with your mental power world. The entrance to the secret realm is very hidden, and it seems that no one has ever discovered it. After entering the secret realm, you found a Xiantian fairy vine, on which a gourd-shaped Xiantian treasure was bred. You were overjoyed. The Xiantian treasure is the most top-notch treasure in the world. Even the top Mahayana masters rarely possess it. It has incredible magical powers that can ignore the laws of the world. If it can be brought to the real world, in terms of power, the Xiantian treasure can surpass the top-grade Taoist tools and be comparable to ordinary immortal tools. The Xiantian treasure is generally used as the treasure of a super clan. The Xiantian gourd is not yet fully mature, and it is estimated that it will take tens of thousands of years. The Xiantian immortal vine is rooted in a spiritual pool, and there are some colorful and dazzling unknown spiritual liquids in the spiritual pool. You took a bottle, drank it all, and fell asleep in a daze. 1155 years old, you slept for 5 years. After waking up, you were surprised to find that your mental power had broken through to the early stage of the refining void realm. 1200 years old, the strength of your mental power is completely stable, your goal is achieved, and you are ready to leave the secret realm and return to the Blood Bone Gate. You set up multiple concealment formations at the entrance of the secret realm to prevent other cultivators from discovering you. 1300 years old, you returned to the Blood Bone sect and prepared to break through to the refining void realm. In the same year, you easily survived the fourth minor heavenly tribulation. 1500 years old, you successfully broke through to the initial stage of refining Void Realm and became an inner disciple of the Blood Bones sect, guessed. 3,000 years old, after your mental strength reaches the peak of the initial stage of refining emptiness, there is no progress. During this period, you returned to the secret realm again and drank the 7-color spiritual liquid again. This time the spiritual liquid did not work. You know that your mental strength is limited by your body cultivation in the real world and has reached its limit. But you are already very satisfied. The mental strength has reached the peak of the initial stage of refining emptiness, which means that after returning to the real world, the mental strength can reach the realm of great power. Many magical powers and secrets can be practiced. 3,100 years old, you no longer practice in seclusion, but instead study formations, alchemy, and refining. 4,500 years old, you have a deep attainment in formations, and you also have a little knowledge of alchemy and refining. In the same year, you successfully survived your first great calamity. 7,500 years old, you survived your second great calamity, and your formation attainments have further improved. You can easily set up powerful killing formations, illusion formations, and long-distance teleportation formations. 10,500 years old, you survived your third great calamity with difficulty at the initial stage of refining emptiness, and were seriously injured. 11,500 years old, your injuries have healed, and knowing that you have no hope of surviving the fourth great calamity, you continue to study formations and alchemy. 13,500 years old, the fourth great calamity comes, and you fall in it. You die, and this simulation ends. After the simulation ends, Changfeng closes his eyes to digest the harvest, and his sea of consciousness is in turmoil. This simulation yields a huge harvest. Not only has the strength of mental power successfully reached the realm of great power, but also the formation and alchemy have also achieved deep attainments. In the simulation world, a treasure of the level of Xiantian treasure is also found. Although it cannot be brought into the real world, it should be of great use in subsequent simulations. After a whole day, Changfeng finally opened his eyes and digested the results of this simulation. Chapter 83. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Now, Changfeng's mental strength has reached the initial stage of fusion, and the power of the mental world has also been greatly improved. Although the mental realm is still the desolate realm, with the current strength of the mental world, Changfeng is confident that he can easily suppress Liang Yun with the mental world alone. It can be said that it is difficult for him to find an opponent in the realm below the great power. The mental strength has been successfully broken through, and Changfeng's path of cultivation has suddenly become clear. The great magical power, true spirit mysterious heaven change, passed down by Jin Yangzi can finally be practiced. The top boxing and secret techniques in Huangting's sect that can only be practiced with mental strength above the fusion stage can also be planned. After the sect competition ended, Changfeng was rewarded with 3 silver medals, which can be exchanged for at least 3 top magical secrets. It can be foreseen that in the next period of practice, Changfeng's strength will advance by leaps and bounds. He planned to first improve his immortal cultivation to the peak of the golden core stage, and then practice true spirit mysterious heaven change to refine the blood essence of a prehistoric upper realm beast on hand. However, there were still many simulation points left at this time, and the talent level improvement plan had not been completed, and the pink simulation needed to continue. In the next simulation, Changfeng planned to practice true spirit mysterious heaven change to lay the foundation for practicing this magical power and refining the blood essence of the beast in the real world in the future. Of course, the search for refining spirit art still cannot stop. After all, this spiritual secret method is too suitable for Changfeng. The effect of refining spirit art is passive, which can simply and roughly increase the strength of mental power. After successfully practicing refining spirit art in the simulation world, the results of practice can be brought back to the real world, without Changfeng having to spend a lot of time in the real world to practice again. Continue the simulation. Enter the locked pink simulation world. Ding! Consume 100,000 simulation points, exchange for pink simulation times x1. Simulation begins. The target is the specified pink simulation world. Simulation is about to begin. World introduction, omitted. Start talent selection. Please select 6 from the reserved talents and the following talents and bring them into the simulation world. Eternal Hammer Saint, purple. You have a rare talent for hammering, and your hammer power is increased by 200%, Son of the Wind, purple. Your speed increases, and the power of wind magic is increased by 200%, Immortal Golden Body, pink. Your physical strength is greatly improved, and you have super strong defense and recovery ability. Even fatal injuries such as beheading and heart digging will not kill you, but can recover in a short time, Son of the Dark Knight, blue. You are in the Dark Knight, your strength is improved, and the Dark Knight is your most solid backing. I got the pink talent that increases the strength of the body. After reading the talent selection, Changfeng was very surprised. This is a talent that can actually increase combat power. According to the description, the effect of the Immortal Golden Body, pink, talent is very abnormal, much stronger than the Vajra Indestructible Body, purple, talent. Not only can it continue to increase his physical strength, but it also has super strong recovery ability. Even fatal injuries can be recovered in a short time. Increasing physical strength can not only greatly increase combat power, but also allow Changfeng to practice the 2 magical arts, True Spirit Xiantian Change and Refining Spirit Art, more smoothly. After all, these 2 magical arts still require very high physical strength. Without any hesitation, Changfeng chose the 6 talents of Supreme Fist, pink, Unparalleled Combat Power, purple, Immortal Golden Body, pink, Luck Added Body, purple, Natural Tao Seed, pink, and Concealing Heaven's Secret, purple, to enter the simulation world. So far, half of his 6 talents have been upgraded to the pink level. However, Changfeng discovered a problem. The pink simulation has been carried out many times, and a red level talent has never been brushed out. In the previous simulations of lower levels, there is generally a chance to brush out talents 1 level higher than the simulation level. For example, blue simulations can produce purple level talents, and purple simulations can produce pink level talents. It seems that red level talents involve fairy level and above powers, which are difficult to brush out in the pink level simulation world, but the problem is not big. Pink level talents are already very abnormal and are completely sufficient at this stage. Red and above talents will be discussed later. Without thinking any more, Changfeng's spirit entered the simulation world. Simulation begins. 0 years old, you were born in the Fire Sparrow clan of the Sky Crow realm, and you are a mixed-blood Fire Sparrow. Your father is a Fire Sparrow in the God transformation stage, and your mother is a Wind Crow in the nascent soul stage. The Sky Crow realm is another large realm near the Spirit realm. The entire realm is almost all bird races, and the overall strength is not weaker than the Spirit realm. 13 years old, you began to practice the Fire Sparrow clan's skills taught by your father, and made rapid progress. 20 years old, your mental power recovered to the peak of the initial stage of the refining void realm, and your cultivation reached the foundation establishment stage. However, your physical body is extremely strong, and you can defeat ordinary Yuanying stage masters with your physical strength alone. The Fire Sparrow clan is a weak race in the Sky Crow realm, and there is only one Mahayana stage ancestor in the clan. 42 years old, you successfully formed a pill. 110 years old, you were promoted to the Yuanying stage. In the same year, you left the Fire Sparrow clan and went out to travel, ready to try your luck and see if you can find some true spirit blood to practice the True Spirit Xiantian Change magical power. True spirits are a type of creatures unique to this simulated world. They are all born with the laws of heaven and earth and are born with the ability to manipulate the power of laws. For example, the Sky Phoenix can manipulate the power of space, and the 5-colored peacock can manipulate the power of the 5 elements. The true spirits are very powerful, and at least they have the strength of a powerful Mahayana. The average Mahayana strongman is far from being a match for the true spirits. The top true spirits can even reach the level of flying. It can be said that the true spirits are born to stand at the top of this world. Their blood is a good material for practicing True Spirit Xiantian Change. However, the blood of the true spirit is so rare that even a Mahayana strongman may not see a true spirit in his lifetime. You just want to try it. If you really don't have it, use some high-level spirit beast blood to practice. 190 years old, you advance to the God transformation realm, but you get nothing from the true spirit blood. 500 years old, you successfully practice to the early stage of the refining void realm, and at this point, your cultivation stagnated again. 600 years old, you found a huge feather in a wild place, and there was blood on the end of the feather. After sensing it and checking various materials, you know that this is the blood left by the true spirit Yutian Kunpeng, and you are overjoyed. 750 years old, you practiced true spirit Xiantian change and successfully refined Yutian Kunpeng's blood. With a thought, you can transform into Yutian Kunpeng's true body. When you use the magical power of true spirit Xiantian change, your physical strength increases greatly, and your speed is extremely fast. You can push Kunpeng's true body to the extreme and even break the power of the interface. 800 years old, you return to the Fire Sparrow clan, practice in seclusion, and comprehend the way of formation. 1,500 years old, the great perfection ancestor of the Fire Sparrow clan offended the Golden Crow clan, the overlord of the Sky Crow realm, for some reason. 5 great perfection powers of the Golden Crow clan joined forces to descend on the Fire Sparrow clan. You used the magical power of true spirit Xiantian transformation to transform into the real body of wandering Kunpeng and put up resistance, but were still easily killed by a powerful Golden Crow. In this battle, the ancestor of the Fire Sparrow clan died, and the Fire Sparrow clan was destroyed. You are dead, and this simulation ends. Chapter 84. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After the simulation, Changfeng chose to use the immortal golden body, pink, talent to replace the Vajra indestructible body, purple, talent, and then spent an incense stick of time to digest the gains of this simulation. The gains of this simulation are still quite great. Not only did he choose the pink level talent to strengthen the physical body, but he also refined the blood of the true spirit in the simulation world and successfully cultivated the true spirit Xiantian change. Although the magical powers cultivated in the simulation world cannot be brought to the real world, the perception and practice experience of the great magical power of true spirit Xiantian change will not disappear. Moreover, the Zhuyan blood and Kuei Niu blood in Changfeng's hands are much higher in grade than the true spirit blood in the simulation world. After all, it is a race of divine beasts in the prehistoric upper realm. How can it be compared with the mere lower realm true spirit? The only drawback is that the simulation is a bit short in life, and the simulation ends at 1,500 years old. But there is no way, disaster comes from the sky, and the Mahayana strongman is not something he can resist at this stage. Old Firebird, you are such a troublemaker, and you ended up dying and your clan was destroyed. Changfeng thought. As for the spirit refining technique, there was really no way to simulate it this time. How could he plan the spirit refining technique if he couldn't even enter the spirit world? Without wasting time, Changfeng continued to simulate this pink world of immortal cultivation. He had 3 simulations in a row, but his luck was not very good. He was not born directly in the thunder continent of the spirit world. In the first simulation, Changfeng was born in the demon world and became a demon. Before he was 100 years old, the city he lived in was sacrificed by a demon saint, Mahayana realm, to refine treasures. Fortunately, he practiced magic for decades, so it was not without gain. In the second simulation, Changfeng was born in the Failing clan of the Fengyuan continent of the spirit world. The Failing clan is a medium-sized race in the spirit world, and there are several great masters in the clan. Changfeng came here during the first simulation of this world. That piece of nurturing wood was obtained here, so he was quite familiar with the Failing clan. The Failing clan is composed of 72 different bird species, and Changfeng was born in the peacock branch. In this simulation, Changfeng, by chance, obtained the blood of the true spirit 7-headed owl and recultivated the true spirit Xiantian change magical power. According to the memory of Shui launching in his previous life, Changfeng knew that in the Tianping branch of the Failing clan, there was a magical power called the 12 Changes of Jingjia. The effect was very similar to true spirit Xiantian change, but the grade was far worse. So he didn't spend any effort to find it. As for the way to go to the Thunder Continent, Changfeng still didn't find it. The quota for the cross-continent super teleportation array is too precious. Even if the master of the fusion stage, who is second only to the Mahayana stage, wants to obtain it, it is also a slim hope. After practicing to the peak of the initial stage of refining emptiness, Changfeng continued to study the formation and the way of alchemy. Now, he can already set up formations that threaten powerful people, and he has also made good elixirs. In this simulation, Changfeng lived for nearly 20,000 years. In the end, he fell under the sixth great heavenly tribulation. In the third simulation, Changfeng was born in the blood sky continent. However, before he could achieve great success in his cultivation, he was hunted down by a blood path cultivator in the fusion stage and eventually died. He didn't even have time to take the inheritance hidden in the secret realm of the Shantian gourd. However, this simulation gave him a good talent, mirror flower and water moon, pink. When you are locked by the deduction of the heavenly secret or special means, you will feel something in your heart. And the other party will get a vague and false result. This talent is an upgraded version of concealing the heavenly secret, purple, and Changfeng decisively replaced it with it. The novel was taken from the Translat website. Close where you're reading it and support us on our website for more free novels. If he had this talent when fusing the Sun True Fire seed, the heavenly punishment would not have come to the Huangting sect. After 3 consecutive simulations, refining the soul, still had no clue, and Changfeng was not in a hurry. There are about 1 million simulation points left in the Xianwu simulation system, and there are plenty of resources on hand, so there is no need to worry about not being able to simulate. Continue simulating. Enter the locked pink simulation world. Ding! Consume 100,000 simulation points and exchange for pink simulation times 1. Simulation starts. The target is the specified pink simulation world. Simulation is about to start. World introduction, omitted. Start talent selection. Please choose 6 from the reserved talents and the following talents and bring them into the simulation world. Zen Master, blue. You are born to be a monk. When practicing Buddhist skills and magical powers, your practice speed will increase. Cyclops, purple. You have the ability of Cyclops, and your eyes can shoot ultra-high temperature lasers. Tamer, blue. You have superb talent for taming and have the potential to become a master tamer. Great fortune, pink. You are blessed with great fortune and are favored by the will of the world, and the possibility of encountering opportunities is greatly increased. When in danger, may turn danger into fortune. Speedy runner, green. You run very fast, you can travel 1,000 miles a day and 800 miles a night. It's coming, it's coming. After seeing the refreshed talent, Changfeng was secretly happy. The great luck, pink, talent is an upgraded version of the luck plus, purple, talent. Changfeng has tasted a lot of sweetness for the luck-related talents. Although there is no evidence, Changfeng feels that his luck-related talents have contributed greatly to his chance to accept the test of senior Jin Yangzi and inherit his legacy. Moreover, finding the moonlight divine grass, the bitter tea tree and the creation spirit liquid in the tomb of Yu Fujianren shows that Changfeng's luck is not low. The discovery of Shantian treasures and the successive discovery of the precious true spirit blood in the simulation world are also the result of the luck plus talent. Now that he has obtained a more powerful enhanced version, shouldn't he have more good luck? Without any hesitation, Changfeng chose the 6 talents of Supreme Fist, pink, unparalleled combat power, purple, indestructible golden body, pink, great luck, pink, natural Tao seed, pink, mirror flower and water moon, pink, to enter the simulation world. Now, of his 6 talents, only one has not been upgraded to the pink level. Simulation starts. 0 years old, you were born in the Jiaoqi tribe of the Thunder Continent in the spirit world, and you are a boy. Chapter 85. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Jiaoqi tribe is a super tribe in the spirit world. There are nearly 20 Mahayana-level strongmen in the tribe. They also worship several powerful true spirits and several Shantian treasures. You are very happy to be born in the Thunder Continent this time. You are ready to plan the secret method of Lian Shenju with all your strength. The inheritance of the first 3 levels of Lian Shenju is located in the secret realm of Guanhan realm in the Thunder Continent. According to legend, Guanhan realm is a space fragment that fell from the true immortal realm into the lower realm, and the entrance is located in the Thunder Continent. At the beginning, a very fierce racial war broke out in the Thunder Continent. During the war, several Xiantian treasures collided with each other, accidentally breaking the void and opening the passage to Guanhan realm. The Guanhan realm opens every 10,000 years. Before it opens, Guanhan order will appear randomly in various places in the Thunder Continent. To enter Guanhan realm, you must pass through a specially arranged teleportation array. Guanhan order is equivalent to teleportation talisman, and it is impossible to enter at the fusion stage and above. Whenever Guanhan realm is opened, all the major races in Laming continent will collect Guanhan orders, and then set up a teleportation array to send the best of the refining void realm and the clan to Guanhan realm. The spiritual energy in Guanhan realm is extremely rich, and the concentration is more than 10 times that of the spirit realm, so it is called the best place to break through the bottleneck by the various races in Laming continent. With the help of the rich spiritual energy of the heaven and earth in Guanhan realm and various opportunities, the probability of cultivators at the peak of refining void realm successfully breaking into the fusion stage is much greater than in the outside world. Each time Guanhan realm is opened, it lasts for 1 year. After 1 year, all foreign cultivators are teleported back to Laming continent. In order to successfully enter Guanhan realm and obtain the opportunity of refining spirit art, you decide to maximize your combat power in this simulation. Because you know that, limited by the cultivation of the real world, your mental strength can only reach the peak of the initial stage of refining void, and your cultivation in this simulation can only reach the initial stage of refining void. In Guanhan realm, your opponents will be a group of cultivators at the peak of refining void. However, with many talents added, you have the confidence to sweep across the Guanhan realm. At 6 years old, you practice the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra, and at the same time prepare to practice the Xiantian Holy Body martial arts. In this world, these two top Huangting sect martial arts can also be practiced. However, the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra can only be practiced in the first 5 levels. When the cultivation reaches the peak of the spiritualization stage and then breaks through, the cultivation paths of the two worlds are different. As for the Xiantian Holy Body martial arts, due to the different laws of heaven and earth, it has become a top-level body refining supernatural power. However, the natural materials and treasures required to practice the Xiantian Holy Body are really not available in this world, and it is difficult to find substitutes, so you finally give up. At 16 years old, your mental strength is restored to the initial stage of the refining void stage, and the second level of the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra is successfully practiced, reaching the foundation establishment stage. 18 years old, you showed your strong cultivation talent and naturally strong body, which shocked many powerful people in the tribe. A great master of the Jiaoqi tribe came forward to accept you as his disciple. 20 years old, you obtained a top-level body-refining magical power of the Jiaoqi tribe from your master, called Hao Mie Zhan Ti. Although it is not as good as Xian Tian Xing Ti, it can also improve the strength of the body. 30 years old, you successfully entered the Jindan stage, and Hao Mie Zhan Ti also achieved some success. 120 years old, you entered the Yuanying stage. Because of your extraordinary talent and rapid progress, you are deeply loved by the great master. You learn that there are still thousands of years before the next Guanhan realm opens, which is enough time for you to make adequate preparations. In addition to practicing, you have been collecting relevant information about the Golden Seal script. Golden Seal script is a kind of spiritual script in the true immortal realm. The spirit refining technique is written in Golden Seal script. If you don't master this script, even if you get the spirit refining technique, it's like reading a heavenly book. Golden Seal script is circulated in the spiritual world in small quantities. If you are willing to collect and study it, you can learn it. 210 years old, you enter the realm of transformation and become the most outstanding genius of the Jiaoqi tribe. Your master is very happy that you have advanced to the realm of transformation and is ready to give you some rewards. You ask for some blood of the true spirit. Although the blood of the true spirit is precious, it is not difficult to obtain for the super tribe Jiaoqi tribe. After all, there are several true spirits enshrined in the tribe. Your master gave you some blood of the true dragon and the blood of the sky phoenix, and you were very surprised. Even among the true spirits, the true dragon and the sky phoenix are the top existences. The true dragon has a strong body and amazing defense, and is invincible in frontal combat. Tianfeng has mastered the magical power of space, has amazing recovery ability, and can be reborn from the ashes. Use these two kinds of true spirit blood to practice the magical power of true spirit Xiantian change, the effect must be amazing. 420 years old, you can easily. 600 years old, your cultivation has reached the peak of the spiritualization stage. The great sun burning heaven sutra cannot be broken through in this world. After all, the sixth level requires the integration of immortals and martial arts, and the advancement to the fusion stage, which is still very different from the realm of refining emptiness in this world. There is no martial arts in this world, only immortals, so naturally it is impossible to practice the sixth level of the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra. You are not in a hurry, there is still a long time before the Guanhan realm is opened. Practicing the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra is just to improve your combat power. Now your spiritual power contains the amazing power of the Great Sun Burning Heaven, which is extremely powerful when fighting with others. You practice the Jiao Qi clan's skills again, and your progress is rapid. 720 years old, you easily survived the second small heavenly tribulation. 900 years old, you have entered the initial stage of refining emptiness, and the Hayami war body has also been cultivated to a very high level. 910 years old, after so many years of unremitting efforts, you have successfully learned the Golden Seal script. 940 years old, you practiced the magical power of true spirit Xiantian change and successfully refined the blood of the true dragon and the phoenix, and your strength increased greatly. At this time, your preparations for the trip to Guanhan realm are basically complete, and you only need to wait for Guanhan realm to open. 1200 years old, your cultivation has reached the peak of the initial stage of refining void, and you are only one step away from the middle stage. In recent years, you have refined a lot of magic weapons and arrays to prepare for emergencies. 2500 years old, the Jiaoqi tribe monitored that Guanhan realm will open in a few decades, and Guanhan order has appeared in the outside world. After you learned the news, you immediately went out to look for Guanhan order. Unfortunately, nothing was found in the past few years, but you are not in a hurry. 2515 years old, Guanhan realm is about to open, and the Jiaoqi tribe has collected 5 Guanhan orders, each of which can bring 3 cultivators below the fusion realm into it. You explained your wish to enter Guanhan realm to your master, and he agreed. However, there are cultivators in your clan who think that you are only in the early stage of refining emptiness and are not qualified to enter Guanhan realm. You did not say much, and directly challenged 3 peak refining emptiness masters at the same time. Under your great magical power, the 3 peak refining emptiness clan members were defeated. No one dared to have any opinions from then on. 2520 years old, Guanhan realm is opened, and you and your clan members enter it together. You know that the refining spirit art is inherited on the stone wall of a cave, and there is a strong formation guarding it. Only those who hold 3 Guanhan orders can pass through the formation. After entering Guanhan realm, you found a reason to separate from the Jiaoqi clan members who were traveling with you. In order to get the 3 Guanhan orders, you plan to hunt cultivators from other clans. You spent a whole month using the world of mind power to find the teams of the Sea King clan, the 13 Tianyun clan, and the Rong clan in Guanhan realm. When you used the true dragon and phoenix and used the heart and power world to suppress them, all 3 teams, a total of 9 peak level masters, were killed, and none of them could escape. You obtained 3 Guanhan orders and a large amount of cultivation resources. In the next 3 months, you used the heart and power world and your mental power to explore the Guanhan realm on a large scale. The dark beasts of the refining realm bred in the Guanhan realm could not stop you at all. Finally, you found the cave where the refining spirit art was located in a remote place. With the 3 Guanhan orders in your hand, you successfully passed the protective formation. On the stone wall of the cave, you found the first 3 levels of the refining spirit art, inscribed in golden seal characters. Chapter 86. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You copied the golden seal text on the stone wall and successfully obtained the first 3 levels of the art of refining the soul. For the remaining 6 months, you kept a low profile and did not attack the cultivators of the void refining stage of other tribes. Because you did not leave any survivors when you plundered the Guanhan order, your information has not been exposed. You found a lot of precious and old spiritual medicines in Guanhan realm. Many of these spiritual medicines cannot be found in the spiritual world and are special products of the true immortal realm. 2521 years old, at the end of 1 year, Guanhan realm is closed again, all Guanhan orders are automatically taken back, and you are transferred back to the Jiaoqi tribe. You presented some of the immortal medicines you got in Guanhan realm to your master, who was very happy. 2522 years old, you retreated to comprehend the art of refining the soul. 2610 years old, you successfully comprehended the first level of the art of refining the soul and began to practice. 2620 years old, successfully cultivated the first level of spirit refining technique. Your mental strength increased by 2 times, vaguely surpassing the peak of refining void. 2700 years old, your cultivation level breaks through to the middle stage of refining void. 3056 years old, you enter the peak of refining void. You have obtained spirit refining technique and successfully cultivated the first level. Your goal of this simulation world has been basically achieved, and you are very happy. As for the second level of spirit refining technique, it is not something you can cultivate at this stage. Not only does your mental strength not meet the standard, but your physical strength is also not up to standard. Forcing cultivation will only cause your body to explode and die. You continue to comprehend the formation, refining and alchemy. Perhaps because of your limited talent, the formation, refining and alchemy have slowed down after reaching the current level. You don't care, and still study hard, and don't forget to practice boxing in your spare time. 3900 years old, you easily survived the first great calamity. With your current strength, ordinary fusion stage masters are no match for you. 5500 years old, you are so quiet that you want to go out and travel. You think of the Xiantian treasure gourd you found before, and wonder if it is mature. Are you sure you want to go to the Blood Sky continent to have a look? As a super clan in the spiritual world, the Jiaoqi clan has a super long-distance cross-continental teleportation array. With your current strength and the identity of a disciple of the Mahayana ancestor in the clan, it is not difficult to use it. You told your master that you wanted to go to the Blood Sky continent and travel around, and your master agreed. He made up a job for you on the Blood Sky continent and reported it to the clan. Soon, the super long-distance cross-continental teleportation array was available, and you went to the Blood Sky continent smoothly. After arriving in the Blood Sky continent, you first traveled for more than 100 years. You are not unfamiliar with the blood path technique, so no one suspects that you are a visitor from another continent. 5700 years old, you went to the secret realm where the Xiantian gourd was located and found that the gourd was fully mature. However, you did not pick it. Once the Xiantian treasure is picked from the Xiantian immortal vine, its aura will leak out and it will automatically appear on the Chaos 10,000 Spirits list and be known by the people of the hundreds of races in the spirit world. With your current strength, it is impossible to keep it. Moreover, only the Mahayana cultivators can activate the complete Xiantian treasure. This treasure is of no use to you now. After reinforcing the secret realm entrance concealment formation again, you left the secret realm and continued to travel around and comprehend various magical skills. 6,900 years old, you easily survived the second great calamity. 9,900 years old, you easily survived the third great calamity. 12,000 years old, you spent a huge amount of spirit stones and returned to the Thunder Continent with the help of the Hellion Business Alliance's cross-continental teleportation formation. The Hellion Merchant Alliance is a top merchant alliance with great wealth and power, with businesses spread across all spirit realms. They usually pay attention to making money through harmony, but in terms of strength, they are even slightly above the Jiaoqi tribe. 12,900 years old, you easily survived the fourth great calamity. 13,000 years old, you traveled around the Thunder continent, hiding your identity, learning and comprehending the skills of hundreds of tribes. You are low-key and rarely take action. Once you take action, you will never leave anyone alive, so you are not well known on the continent. 18,900 years old, you survived the sixth great calamity and were slightly injured. 21,900 years old, you survived the seventh great calamity and were seriously injured, but with the blessing of the immortal golden body talent, your injuries healed quickly after the calamity ended. 24900 years old, you fell in the eighth great calamity. Before the calamity, you hid all your wealth in a secret place, waiting to be retrieved in the next simulation. You died, and this simulation is over. After the simulation, Changfeng chose to use the great luck, pink, talent to replace the luck plus body, purple, talent. Then he spent a whole day digesting the gains of this simulation, successfully obtained the spirit refining art and successfully cultivated the first level, which greatly improved the strength of mental power and reached the level of the late stage of fusion. This mental strength is already the limit that Changfeng can reach at this stage, and it should not be able to be improved in a short time. In terms of formation, alchemy and refining, Changfeng is now quite good, and can be called a master. He plans to wait until he has enough money in the real world, and exchange some inheritance in this area from the Huangting sect to further improve his ability in formation, alchemy and refining. Now, the talent level has basically been improved, and the strength of mental power has reached the limit. It is time to practice in seclusion to improve the cultivation of immortals. In the simulated world for tens of thousands of years, Changfeng has already mastered the cultivation of the golden core stage, and there is no bottleneck at all. He only needs to practice in seclusion and improve his cultivation to the peak of the golden core stage step by step. There is no time in cultivating immortals, and 10 years have passed in a flash. On this day, Changfeng officially came out of seclusion, and his cultivation of immortals reached the peak of the golden core stage. Chapter 87. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After 10 years of hard practice in seclusion, Changfeng's immortal cultivation level has been raised from the early stage of the golden core to the peak of the golden core. This speed is not slow. Normal cultivators may take decades without bottlenecks, and because his Wuqiao golden core is extremely special and much stronger than the normal 9-aperture golden core, it needs more spiritual energy from heaven and earth to polish and improve his cultivation. In the real world, Changfeng is less than 30 years old and has just started his cultivation journey. He is still very satisfied with his current level and strength. During the 10 years of seclusion to practice the Great Sun-Burning Heaven Sutra, Changfeng did not simulate it, so he accumulated a lot of wealth. He received the rewards for the true disciples and the Grand Master realm of the Tower of Tongtian that he had not received in the past 10 years. A total of 24 million spirit stones and 24 million exchange points. This is a huge sum of money. Changfeng couldn't help but sigh at the wealth of the Huangting sect, which is worthy of being the most powerful sect in the southern region. With this resource, Changfeng can prepare to break through the realm of heaven and human and nascent soul, but before that, he still has to practice the great magical power of true spirit Xiantian change that he has been thinking about for a long time now. Changfeng has two kinds of blood essences of the upper beasts of the prehistoric world. Namely Zhu Yan's blood essence and Kuei Nio's blood essence. You need to choose one to refine first. After spending 10,000 exchange points, Changfeng found the information of Zhu Yan and Kuei Nio from the protection formation. Zhu Yan, the upper beast of the prehistoric world, looks like an ape, with a white head and bare feet, symbolizing war and chaos, and a strong body. His innate magical powers are 3 heads and 6 arms and the law of heaven and earth. Kuei Nio, the upper beast of the prehistoric world, also known as the thunder beast, looks like a cow, with a blue body and no horns, and 1 foot. He is born to control thunder, and his innate magical powers are thunder roar and various thunder methods. Changfeng hesitated for a moment, and finally decided to refine Zhu Yan's blood essence first. Kuei-nyo's innate magical power is very good, and thunder is a very powerful force between heaven and earth. However, Zhu Yan's innate magical power is more suitable for him. 3 heads and 6 arms and the law of heaven and earth are famous fighting magical powers that are well known in the world, which are very suitable for Changfeng's style of fighting, mainly with physical body. Moreover, Zhu Yan is ape-shaped and has a strong physical body. Using Zhu Yan's true body is more conducive to his boxing. Kuei-nyo has only 1 leg, which is not convenient for boxing. Of course, Kuei-nyo's blood essence must be refined in the future, but Zhu Yan's blood essence is given priority. After all, every time a kind of divine beast's blood essence is refined, Changfeng's physical strength can be improved a lot. Changfeng took out the jade bottle containing Zhu Yan's blood from the Qiankuan pot, sat cross-legged, and began to slowly refine Zhu Yan's blood. As soon as the blood entered his body, Changfeng felt the powerful force contained in it, which was much stronger than the blood of the real dragon and phoenix refined in the simulated world. As the true spirit Xiantian change was running, Changfeng's body gradually felt some pressure. However, since he obtained the immortal golden body, pink, talent, his physical body in the real world has already surpassed the level of the upper-grade spiritual treasure. Coupled with the super recovery ability brought by this talent, it is not a big problem to refine Zhu Yan's blood. Since Changfeng has practiced the true spirit Xiantian change magic many times in the simulated world, he is familiar with it and did not encounter any problems when refining Zhu Yan's blood. There is no time for cultivation. In a blink of an eye, 2 years have passed, and Changfeng has reached the final stage of refining Zhu Yan's blood. In the Xianwu dojo, there were many strange phenomena. A white-headed and red-footed giant ape phantom appeared in the dojo. The phantom was thousands of feet tall, with 3 heads and 6 arms, and a fierce look flashed in its eyes. Suddenly, the giant ape phantom roared to the sky, resounding throughout the dojo. Then it quickly shrank and turned into a light spot, sinking into Changfeng's body. True spirit Xiantian transformation, Zhu Yan transformation, successfully refined. Changfeng opened his eyes, and with a thought, he instantly turned into a white-headed and red-footed giant ape tens of meters tall. The giant ape exuded a fascinating aura. Arriving at the martial arts field of the Xianwu dojo, Changfeng became familiar with Zhu Yan's true body. After an hour of testing, he was very satisfied with Zhu Yan transformation. When using Zhu Yan's true body, Changfeng's physical strength is greatly improved, which is completely comparable to the lower grade Taoist tools. This is a Taoist tool, and ordinary fusion stage masters may not have a Taoist tool. Just like Yu Fusionren, as a master at the peak of fusion, there are only upper-grade spiritual treasures left in the cemetery. The physical strength of the Xiantian holy body can only reach the lower-grade Taoist tool after practicing to the 7th level of fusion. Changfeng is confident that with the physical strength of Zhu Yan's true body, he can definitely defeat the opponent at the initial stage of fusion on the 61st floor of Tongtian Tower. When Zhu Yan is in the true body state, it does not affect Changfeng's boxing magic and the world of mind power at all. Zhu Yan's innate magical powers, 3 heads and 6 arms and law of heaven and earth, can also be used smoothly. However, these 2 famous magical powers consume too much energy, and with Changfeng's current cultivation level, they cannot be maintained for a long time. Changfeng is a little unsure of his current strength. However, he is confident that he definitely has the strength of a great power in the fusion stage, and he is still the best among them. At present, his cultivation is only at the peak of the Grandmaster, but for him, there is no bottleneck before practicing to the fusion stage. After all, he has practiced to the realm of refining emptiness many times in the simulation world. With his current understanding of the skills, as long as there are enough natural materials and treasures, Changfeng can retreat all the way to improve his cultivation to the peak of the transformation realm/land immortal. For him, the realm below the great power is not difficult at all. Now, there are only 2 obstacles that prevent him from entering the realm of the great power. First, the natural materials and treasures required for the 5th level of Xiantian holy body. Second, the unity of immortality and martial arts. Understand one's own path, merge spiritual power with physical qi and blood, and form magic power. The first obstacle is not difficult to gather as long as Changfeng spends some energy and cost. After all, it is only the 5th level natural treasures, and the preciousness is not too outrageous. The natural treasures required for the 6th and 7th levels have already been obtained from Jin Yangzi, so there is no need to worry. The second obstacle requires Changfeng to comprehend it himself. In the locked immortal cultivation simulation world, due to the laws of heaven and earth, it is impossible to take the path of martial arts, let alone the unity of immortality and martial arts. However, the 6th level of the Re-Burning Heaven Sutra has the method of unity of immortality and martial arts. Changfeng feels that even if he has not practiced it in the simulation world, with his own understanding, it is not difficult to practice it. As for understanding one's own path, it is easy and difficult, and it all depends on one's own choice. Changfeng follows the boxing path. If he wanted to keep it simple, he could choose a path that his predecessors had taken. He only needed to comprehend a great power-level boxing technique, then integrate it into himself and determine it as his own path. However, following someone else's path means that he is naturally inferior to others. After being promoted to the great power realm, his strength will naturally be inferior. The real geniuses are basically determined to walk out of their own path and create a great power-level skill and magical power. So Changfeng is ready to comprehend the boxing skills of hundreds of schools based on his own world boxing meaning, and create his own unique boxing way. This is the most difficult path. The world boxing meaning is not something that cultivators below the great power realm are qualified to comprehend, and there are basically no related magical boxing skills. It is extremely difficult to create a great power-level boxing skill that is unique to the world boxing meaning. However, with the Xianwu simulation system and a large number of Huangting sect secret skills, plus the bonus of the natural Dao seed talent, Changfeng is confident to walk out of this path. Enter the Tower of Babel to test your own combat power, and then you can go to the master to ask for the boxing skills inherited from Tianquan Peak. Changfeng felt excited when he thought about obtaining the top boxing skills such as the 9-yang shattering heaven fist that he had been dreaming about for a long time. Chapter 88. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Changfeng's mind moved, connected the sect protection formation, consumed 100 spirit stones, and chose to challenge the Tower of Babel. After a while of spinning, Changfeng was teleported to the 61st floor of the Tower of Babel, and a human opponent with the strength of the early stage of fusion appeared not far away. As soon as he appeared, a wave of fusion-level mental pressure attacked Changfeng. Changfeng was not afraid at all, and directly descended into the world of mental power, instantly suppressing the opponent. After practicing the first level of refining spirit art and raising the strength of mental power to the late stage of fusion, the range and power of Changfeng's mental power world have been greatly improved. Because the core treasures have not been refined for the mental power world, the mental power realm has not yet reached the cave heaven realm. Therefore, using the mental power world alone to deal with the fusion stage powerhouses, it is impossible to wipe out a large area like dealing with ordinary gods. However, it still has a strong effect on the fusion stage powerhouses whose mental power strength does not exceed his. Although the opponent in the early stage of fusion transformed by the Babel Tower was not directly killed by the mental world, he was pressed to the ground by the powerful suppression force and had difficulty moving. Changfeng estimated that the mental world could also play a significant role in facing the opponent in the late stage of fusion. Looking at the opponent who was constantly squirming on the ground, Changfeng did not hesitate, mobilized his fist in tension, and sent him to the west. Now, the weakest level of the fusion stage strongman on the 61st floor is no longer his opponent. Then he was teleported to the 62nd floor to continue the challenge. Just after Changfeng killed the opponent on the 61st floor, the 60th floor behind his name on the Babel Tower Grand Master list quietly changed to the 61st floor. Some disciples who were preparing to challenge or paying attention to the situation of the Babel Tower discovered this change. Outside the main hall of the Huangting sect, an elder on duty was resting with his eyes closed. Suddenly, his expression changed. A message came from the sect protection formation. It turned out to be sent by one of his disciples. He didn't care, thinking that his disciple had something to ask him. He clicked on the message and his face changed slightly. Master, is the Tongtian Tower out of order? Why is the top of the Grand Master list showing the 61st floor? Without replying to his disciple, the on-duty elder opened the Tongtian Tower list. After a closer look, the name of Changfeng, who was at the top of the Grand Master list, was indeed written with the 61st floor. How is this possible? The on-duty elder's face changed drastically. The Tongtian Tower is a treasure bestowed by the prehistoric upper realm. In the countless years of Huangting's sect, it has never made a mistake. However, it is even more difficult for him to accept that a Grand Master has great combat power. Looking at Changfeng's name in front of the 61st floor, his face was very shocked. He still knew Changfeng's name. He was a disciple of Tianquan Peak and had a great reputation in recent years. After joining the sect for several months, he participated in the sect competition and swept all the way to the battlefield of heaven and man with the body of Xiantian realm, and had the peak combat power of the immortals on land. He was praised as the #1 prodigy in the southern region and even the Xianwu continent. Unexpectedly, after only more than 10 years of silence, his combat power has entered the realm of great power. The on-duty elder did not think much about it and immediately reported the news to the sect master Wuchenzi. At this moment, he saw that the number of floors behind Changfeng's name on the Tongtian Tower list rose rapidly until it passed the 66th floor. The on-duty elder's mind was blank, and he felt that he was trapped in an illusion. How is this possible? I have practiced for more than 10,000 years to reach the realm of the middle stage of fusion, and the Tongtian Tower has only passed the 66th floor. This kid has been in the sect for more than 10 years, and he is about to surpass me? The on-duty elder instantly felt that he had been practicing like a dog for these years, and his Tao heart was almost unstable. The news quickly spread in the sect, and the communication platform of the sect protection formation instantly exploded. Shocked, senior brother Changfeng quickly passed the 61st to 66th floors of the Tower of Babel, and is suspected to have the strength of the late stage of fusion. Is this true? There won't be any problems with the Tower of Babel. Incredible, senior brother Qi should not have reached the realm of heaven and man, but the Grand Master has the strength of the late stage of fusion. I declare him the first genius of all time. This is really unheard of. Senior brother Qi is not the reincarnation of a great man from the upper realm, so powerful. In the main peak of Tianquan Peak, Changfeng also received this news. After a brief shock, Changfeng fell into deep thought. I didn't expect this kid's strength to improve so quickly. After more than 10 years, he has reached the late stage of fusion. It seems that he was the one who caused the last heavenly punishment. I don't know what secrets this kid has hidden. A trace of worry flashed in Changfeng's eyes. A tree that stands out in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. My disciple has shown the strength of the late stage of the fusion realm this time, which is bound to attract a lot of attention. It was okay in the previous sect competition. Although he showed a monstrous talent, his strength was always within the range of the spirit transformation stage and did not reach the realm of great power. Great, below the ability, all are ants. Even if the talent is monstrous, if the strength has not reached the fusion stage, it will not attract too much attention from the top masters of Xianwu continent. Because, in the road of cultivation, the fusion stage is a natural chasm that only a very few people can cross. But this time is different. Before the cultivation reaches the great power realm, there is the strength of the fusion stage, which is extremely rare in the history of the entire Xianwu continent. Not to mention that the Grand Master realm has the combat power of the late fusion stage, which is unheard of. This shows that the natural chasm of the fusion stage cannot stop Qi Xiaozi. With his monstrous talent, as long as the resources keep up, the realm will inevitably rise rapidly, and it is almost certain that he will become the top combat power of my Huangting sect. Those forces that are not on good terms with my Huangting sect must not want to see this happen. Qi Xiaozi may encounter many human disasters in the future. It seems that this seat should be prepared. If you want to move my disciples, then try it. Changfeng no longer thought about it, and a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. He planned to talk to Changfeng about this matter after he finished his adventure in the Tower of Babel. Chapter 89. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the Tower of Babel, Changfeng has reached the 67th floor. Before he decided to enter the Tower of Babel, he had already anticipated the reaction of the sect after he showed his great power. Although the first bird to come out of the water will be shot, and if he performs too well, he may be remembered by those with ulterior motives, but Changfeng is very confident in his speed of becoming stronger. Moreover, The strength of the fusion stage is already in the upper class in Xianwu continent, and it is not so easy to target. Showing a rare talent in the ages can also make the sect pay more attention to him and allocate more resources. Changfeng plans to use this to improve his cultivation to the fusion stage at the fastest speed. He believes that once his cultivation reaches the realm of great power, and then with the help of the immortal martial arts simulation system, it will be difficult for anyone in the entire Xianwu continent to threaten him. The talents of Mirror Flower Water Moon, pink, and Great Fortune, pink, can also increase his safety factor, and he will not be without countermeasures when facing calculations. In Changfeng's plan, he is not going to take a single step out of Huangting's sect before his cultivation reaches the fusion stage. In Huangting's sect, safety is guaranteed. On the 67th floor of Tongtian Tower, the opponent's strength has reached the late stage of fusion, and both mental strength and physical strength are not comparable to those in the previous 6 floors. The physical strength of the fusion opponents from 61 to 66 floors has not reached the level of low-grade Dao tools, and their mental strength is much weaker than Changfeng, so relying on the world of mind power and the world of fist, Changfeng easily passed. The opponents on the 67th floor and beyond are different. The physical body of the low-grade Dao tool level can only be achieved by practicing the top-level martial arts of the Xiantian holy body level to the fusion stage. The quality and quantity of mana are also much stronger than the opponents on the previous 6 floors. According to the information from Tongtian Tower, the opponents on the 67th floor and beyond of Tongtian Tower are comparable to the cultivators who have practiced the top-level Xianwu and Dao techniques. In Huangting's sect, the disciples who are expected to break through to the realm of great power are basically true disciples, and at the very least, they are inner disciples who are deeply loved by the master. Before reaching the great power realm, it is not difficult to obtain the inheritance of the top-level martial arts of Xian and Wu. Of course, whether you can practice successfully depends on yourself. The top-level martial arts of Xian are fine. As long as you have enough comprehension and spiritual power, you can basically practice them after successfully understanding the martial arts. The martial arts are different. Starting from the land immortal realm, the preciousness of the natural materials and treasures required for the top martial arts has increased sharply. Many disciples who practice the top martial arts are stuck at this step due to the lack of natural materials and treasures. Many disciples who have the ability to break through to the fusion realm, in order not to delay the progress of practice, choose to practice the second-level martial arts to break through. After breaking through to the great power realm and having enough lifespan, slowly accumulate natural materials and treasures to upgrade the top martial arts to the fusion realm. Therefore, in Huangting's sect, without the help of the inner armor-type Taoist instruments, the physical strength of many fusion stage elders and guardians cannot reach the level of lower-grade Taoist instruments. This is the case for all the super sects in the southern region, not to mention the great masters in the fusion stage of those large and medium-sized forces. It is extremely rare for a person to reach the level of a lower-grade Dao weapon. It can be seen here that true spirit mysterious heaven change is worthy of being the great magical power of the upper realm of the prehistoric world. Just by refining the essence and blood of a divine beast, when performing Zhuyan change, Changfeng's physical strength can be raised from the level of a high-grade spiritual treasure to the level of a low-grade Dao weapon. You must know that there is a huge gap between a high-grade spiritual treasure and a low-grade Dao weapon. Even the top-level magical power of strengthening the physical body in the Huangting sect can hardly make up for such a gap. Strengthening the physical body is only a supplementary ability of true spirit mysterious heaven change. The main effect of this great magical power is that it allows the practitioner to perform the corresponding innate magical power. The opponent on the 67th floor is a tiger demon in the late fusion stage. As soon as it appeared, it rushed towards Changfeng. Feeling the strong sense of oppression brought by the tiger demon, Changfeng knew that the strength of this level of opponent was much stronger than that of the 66th level, and he did not dare to be careless at all. In an instant, Changfeng used the Zhuyan transformation magical power and transformed into a giant ape 100 meters tall. The giant ape waved his fists, mobilized the world's fist intention, and knocked the tiger monster back with one punch. When the physical strength and mental strength are equal, the pure mana in the tiger monster's body has a huge advantage, and the quality is much stronger than Changfeng's physical blood. After the immortal martial arts break through to the fusion realm, the whole body's blood and spiritual power will merge into mana. which is a qualitative leap. From the fusion stage to the Mahayana stage, what is cultivated is mana, until ascending to the prehistoric upper realm and cultivating the true immortal realm, the energy in the body will be transformed from mana to immortal power. Qi Changfeng can barely make up for the gap between blood and mana with the addition of the Supreme Fist Master, pink, and the unparalleled combat power, purple, talents. The powerful power of the world's fist intention makes Qi Changfeng he had the upper hand in the battle with the tiger demon, and kept suppressing the tiger demon and beating him violently. The tiger demon was also anxious, and directly used his innate magical power. In an instant, wings grew from the tiger demon's ribs, and a strong wind force surrounded his body, greatly increasing his attack power and speed. Qi Changfeng immediately activated the top-grade spiritual treasure, the cloud-stepping boots, and barely caught up with the tiger demon, with the bonus of the immortal golden body. Pink, talent. Qi Changfeng's recovery ability is extremely strong, and he is not afraid of a protracted battle at all. Even if he used Chu Yan's true body, Qi Changfeng did not feel any pressure on endurance, and fighting for 3 days and 3 nights was not a problem at all. In a blink of an eye, more than an hour passed, and Qi Changfeng and the tiger demon fought for countless rounds, and his proficiency in Zhu Yan's true body became higher and higher. This tiger monster is a really good sparring partner. It improves much faster than my own research on Zhu Yan's true body in the martial arts arena. The effect has been achieved. There is no point in fighting any further. It's time to finish this tiger monster off. With a thought, Qi Changfeng attached the world of mind power to his fists, combined with the world's fist intention, and the attack power increased instantly. Caught off guard, the tiger monster was blasted away by Qi Changfeng's punch, and the 2 punches made him bleed all over. The mental attack attached to the world of mind power made the tiger monster's sea of consciousness chaotic, and he had no resistance. The 3rd punch directly sent the tiger monster back to the Tower of Babel. Qin Feng was surprised after Qi Changfeng passed the 67th floor of the Tower of Babel. This kid is really a freak. He can even pass the 67th floor. The opponents on this floor are comparable to masters who have practiced the top 2 martial arts of Xianwu to the late stage of fusion. Although the opponents on this floor cannot use Taoist tools, as far as I know, Qi Kid doesn't have any Taoist tools either. But seeing that it took him more than an hour to pass, it seems that he has reached his limit. Stinky boy, he doesn't know how to hide his weakness and directly exposed all his strength. Qin Feng had a headache. The Grand Master realm has the top fusion stage strength. With such talent, those hateful bald donkeys will definitely not be able to sit still and will definitely think of some crooked ideas. In the Tongtian Tower, Qi Changfeng came to the 68th floor. The opponent was a Qilong in the late stage of fusion. Qi Changfeng still recognized this race, because the top-grade spiritual treasure Qilong armor he wore was made of the scales and skin of this kind of dragon. The Qilong has no horns, is not big in size, and flies very fast. Its innate magical power is a kind of ice-attributed divine flame, and its attack power is stronger than that of the upper-level tiger monster. However, facing Qi Changfeng's 3 unreasonable punches that combined the world's fist meaning and the world of mind power with Zhu Yan's true body, he still died on the spot. There is no way. The world's fist meaning and the world of mind power are too compatible, and their source is from the Hunyuan Kaitian Jing, passed down by the Taoist ancestor. Qi Changfeng came to the 69th floor, and a message came from the Tower of Babel. After receiving it, his face changed slightly. The opponent on this floor will use a low-grade Taoist weapon. Not far away, the opponent appeared. It was a human race, holding an exquisite low-grade Taoist weapon-level long sword. After probing with his mind power, Qi Changfeng noticed that his body was shining with precious light, and he should also be wearing a low-grade Taoist weapon-level inner armor. Attack and defense in one. It seems that I have to show my real skills. Qi Changfeng's eyes flashed. Chapter 90. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The human sword cultivator held a low-grade Dao weapon-level long sword, and a huge sword energy attacked Qi Changfeng. Qi Changfeng instantly transformed into Zhu Yan's true body, and the heart and power world attached to his fists. He used the world fist intention to resist the sword energy. The power of the low-grade Dao weapon is indeed extraordinary. The power of this sword is much stronger than the innate divine flame of the Qilong in the previous level. The human sword cultivator saw that the sword energy failed to work, so he directly attacked with a long sword. Changfeng was not afraid at all. The world fist intention and the heart and power world merged and directly bombarded the human sword cultivator. What surprised him was that this human sword cultivator should have some kind of mental defense secret method, and the mental attack of the heart and power world had little effect on him. The fists and swords hit each other. The human sword cultivator had the low-grade Dao weapon inner armor to protect his body. Changfeng couldn't do anything to him for a while, and gradually fell into a disadvantage. Try the power of the magic. During the battle, the Zhu Yan's true body displayed by Changfeng changed instantly. The bare-handed and barefooted giant ape turned into a three-headed and six-armed figure, and the aura of the whole body surged. 6 fists blasted at the human sword cultivator together. Unexpectedly, the human sword cultivator was hit by 3 fists at the same time and flew backwards. Even with the protection of the low-grade Taoist treasure armor, the human sword cultivator still vomited blood, was seriously injured, and his breath was weak. Changfeng was about to step forward to continue the attack, and the sword cultivator suddenly waved his hand, and the sword seemed to move in front of Changfeng as if it had moved through space. Changfeng stretched out an arm to resist, and a sound of metal sounded. The sword left a white mark on his arm, and it didn't even break the defense. After displaying the three-headed and six-armed magic, Changfeng not only increased his attack power, but also greatly improved his physical strength. Although it has not yet reached the level of a mid-grade Taoist weapon, the gap should not be far away. Having lost his sword and being seriously injured, the human sword cultivator became a fish on the chopping board, and could only let Changfeng slaughter him. However, Changfeng did not take action, but chose to leave the Tower of Babel and ended the challenge. In the end, his number of levels in the Tower of Babel was fixed at 68. With his strength, there is a high probability that he can pass the 70th level. The reason why he chose not to pass the 69th level is because Changfeng felt that the purpose of testing his combat power had been achieved, and it was a good thing to hide some strength. With his current strength, after displaying the 3 heads and 6 arms and the magical power of the law of heaven and earth, he belongs to the top ranks in the fusion period, and there should be a big gap from the great power of the cross-tribulation period. After being teleported out of the Tower of Babel, Changfeng reappeared in the Shaozhu Peak Dojo. At this time, he received several messages, one of which was Changfeng asking him to go to the main peak of Tianquan Peak. The rest were inquiries from some fellow disciples who were on good terms with him on weekdays. Changfeng casually replied to his fellow disciples, then left the dojo and flew to the main peak of Tianquan Peak. When he arrived at the main hall, he saw his master Changfeng. Changfeng looked him up and down and said, "You kid caused such a big commotion, but you didn't tell me in advance. How did you reach the late stage of fusion without saying anything?" Changfeng bowed and said, "After breaking through to the Grandmaster realm, the strength of my mental power reached the peak level of transformation. After that, I practiced immortality in seclusion for more than 10 years. One day, I suddenly realized that my mental power reached the realm of great power. My disciple used the world fist intention and the mental world with the strength of the great mental power to have such strength." Listening to Changfeng's casual words, Changfeng was a little confused. When practicing the immortal way, suddenly I have an epiphany, and my mental power breaks through to the realm of great power. What is this operation? Why have I never heard of it? If you want to reach the realm of fusion, shouldn't you first practice to the peak of the transformation of spirit/land immortal, and then combine immortality and martial arts, understand your own path, and drive your own mental power to the realm of fusion? You just close yourself for a while, have an epiphany, and your mental power breaks through to the realm of fusion. Isn't it too simple? Have you thought about the feelings of other cultivators? Changfeng has a lot to say, but he doesn't know where to start. However, after feeling the strength of Changfeng's mental power, he not only broke through to the fusion stage, but also reached the late stage. Changfeng is really impressed by Changfeng's talent in mental power. Raising the strength of mental power is simple as drinking water. The desolate realm can descend into the world of mind and power, and easily comprehend the meaning of the world fist. These things have made Qin Feng a little numb. Even if he was told that Changfeng would soon reach the Mahayana stage, he would not be too surprised. What kind of monster disciple did I accept? For some reason, Qin Feng felt a sense of urgency. Maybe it wouldn't take too long for the disciple to surpass the master. I don't want to enter the Holy Land so early. Qin Feng didn't know much about the world of fist and the world of mind, and he didn't know much about its power. It's hard to grasp. Since Changfeng said so, he believed it. He didn't expect that his apprentice's body had reached the level of a low-grade Taoist weapon. He just sighed at the great power of the world's fist, and yearned for it in his heart. Unfortunately, the path of cultivation cannot be forced. If you don't have enough understanding and opportunities, it's useless to envy. Changfeng couldn't explain the origin of the true spirit Xiantian change, magical power, so he couldn't show it to Qin Feng for the time being. After he was promoted to the fusion realm and traveled outside the sect, he would tell Qin Feng that he had accidentally entered the ruins and got it by chance. There was no way. Jin Yangzi's inheritance was of great importance and involved too many people. Even the saints in the prehistoric upper world were paying attention to it, and he couldn't be careless at all. This time when you entered the Tongtian Tower, you showed amazing strength and talent, and even the sect master knows about it. Not long ago, the sect master sent a message to me, saying that the sect is ready to provide you with additional resources and asked if you need anything. It doesn't matter, just ask. Our Huangting sect still has the resources. Changfeng was secretly happy when he heard this. As expected, the sect will have additional resources allocated. It seems that I have found the treasures of the 5th level of Xiantian Saint Body.